Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. I can see some of us online already. Thanks for joining. Very appreciated. Very appreciative of that. I wanted to do something for me. If you can hear me, just let me know in the comments that you can hear me from whatever platform that you're joining from. Let me know where if you can hear me very well. I believe you can hear me, but just to confirm one more time that you can hear me, just let me know in the comments that you can hear me. So, if you can hear me, I'd like you to kindly share this live stream, if you can, with your network. I would greatly appreciate that if you can do that for me just before we start. We're already 6 minutes into the time, and I'm very, very conscious of time, but I just want to take a few minutes to ask you to share the live stream with anyone that you know that might benefit from the session. So if you can do that for me, I'll greatly appreciate it, and we'll kick off conversation in the next 3 minutes. All right. So it's 6:10 p.m. my time, which is 9:10 a.m. West African time. So we're going to kick off immediately. And like I said, thanks everyone for joining. Very much appreciated of. I'm really really appreciative of that. That you found time to join in today's webinar, and it's really been a long time that I did. I did. So give me a minute. Mm, Sorry about that. I was just saying that it's been a very long time I did this webinar on Scholarship Mastery Academy platform, and um, that has been a little bit intentional actually because of you know having had a lot of students to work with and getting a lot of kind of busy with work as well, my personal work and all that. So I just slowed down a little bit on webinars, but I've been thinking about resuming webinars for a very long time now, and I tried to do one on in June, if you can remember or thereabout. Was it June? Probably June or July. We tried to do one, and we had some technical glitch. Hopefully, we're not going to have anyone today. But I've always had this particular webinar in mind for a very long time, and I'm really, really glad that you're here to join in in the session. So we're going to be talking about how to accelerate your scholarship success in 90 days or less. And this is from proven strategy. This is from proven um, operational work or operational system rather, and that we have tested and proven and have been able to show that it works. And so, what I'm going to show you in the next couple of minutes will be how you can use those steps, those processes that we have tested and proven, and apply it to yourself. And if you do it diligently, you will be able to secure a scholarship in 90 days or less. But before we, move on, I would like to just ask a little bit about you. I just want to know a little bit about you. First thing I want to know is your academic background. Second thing I want to know about you is what level of study are you after? Are you after a master's degree, or are you after a PhD, or even after a first degree? I just want to know quickly. And then, thirdly, I want to know which city you're joining me from. So if you can put that in the comment for me, I will be very appreciative of that. So just let me know what is your background in terms of academic background, and then secondly, what is the level of study that you are after, and thirdly, what city are you joining from? So you can do that in the comment section from wherever you're joining the webinar from. There are people joining on YouTube, there are people joining on Facebook, and there are people who are also joining on LinkedIn, I believe. So wherever platform you're joining from, I'd like you to tell me in the comment um, what is your background academically, what level of study are you after, and what city are you joining me from. So I'll give you just a few minutes to do that while I try to check what's happening here. If you can hear me, I'd like you to respond to those. Can everybody hear me? I'm still waiting for comments to come in. Let me know what's your background. academically. Let me know what level of study you're after, and let me know what city you are joining from. Can everybody hear me? Because I can't see any comments. All right. So um, somehow I can't see any comment. I don't know if you're responding and if you're seeing my screen. I believe you are. Okay. So someone has responded. Someone said agricultural economics and masters, and is joining from the city of Ibadan. Joining from the city of Ibadan. Great. Okay, so the comments are coming in now. Chartered accountant, um, VGD, and joining from Lagos. Thanks for joining from Lagos. Okay, so well, I'm not going to take too much time to wait for people to respond to that question. It's just to gauge, um, gauge the attendance, know where someone is, know where you're joining from, and know what is your background, so that I can, while speaking, be able to talk into any area or aspect of um, of study or the background that you have in the course of my presentation. Thanks, Gospel, for joining. Nice to have you. So that's basically the reason why I'm asking about, your background and your level of study you're after. And then the city you're joining from is just to appreciate you for finding time to join, despite the distance that we share or have between myself and you. But yeah, let's move on. And if anyone comes in and meets those questions or wants to respond to them, they can go ahead and do that. But for the sake of time, because we have a lot to share, I'll just move on. So, for the presentation today, we're going to look a little bit about what scholarships are, and we're going to look at why you should apply for scholarships. Then we're going to talk about when I'm after talking about scholarship, we'll now deep dive into um, how to accelerate your scholarship success, and then how Scholarship Mastery Academy can help you to achieve that success. Right, so I'm going to also introduce Scholarship Mastery Academy briefly. Okay, so Chineye Kaspawa has background in polymer and textile engineering, looking for masters, and is joining from Abia State. Right, that's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about me, because I'm not sure how many of you who are live now, or those who will be listening in the future after now will who would have met me or known me um, to a particular extent. So I just thought to introduce myself briefly to you. So my name is Ape Omede, and I'm a lecturer. I work with the university here in Australia. My background is in animal sciences. Um, I did my PhD here in Australia, of course, through a scholarship, and I've over the years been mentoring a lot of people to secure scholarships, fully funded scholarships, like 100% fully funded scholarships to study for masters or PhD and in different parts of the world. So why should you listen to me? You listen to me because I have um, track record of success with helping people, students to achieve success with regards to scholarship all over the world. And I have my own personal experiences as well um, with regards to scholarships and grants and all that. So I'm going to go through a few slides to show you some of the things that qualifies me to be the one to guide you or to show you how to achieve success with scholarship. So the first is that I was two-time winner of a competition called All Tech Young Scientist competition, and this is a global competition. It's not like a local competition. It's a global competition that cuts across different parts of the world. We have the competition categorized into regions. So we have people competing in Asia Pacific. We have people competing in Africa and Middle East. We have people competing in Europe. We have people competing in South America and North America. And where else? Okay, I think probably these are all the numbers or the number of the regions that actually compete in this competition or participate in this competition. And it works from universities in a state. Say, for example, in a place like Nigeria, you have universities in Nigeria. Students from different universities in Nigeria will compete, and then a winner will be selected across all the universities in Nigeria, and then that person will move on to compete in the region with all the universities in the region, and the region is Africa. So you're competing with people from South Africa, from Kenya, Namibia, wherever it is in Africa. All the winners from those regions also are selected, and then you compete with them at African levels. And when I competed, it was actually Africa and Middle East. So the whole of Africa and the whole of Middle East were pulled together into one category. And I came first in Africa in 2011, and I came second. I came first in Africa and Middle East in 2011, and I came second in Africa and Europe in 2009. In 2009 was Africa and Europe. In 2011 was Africa and Middle East. So in 2009 I came second. In 2011 I came first. So I had the privilege to go to the United States of America to represent Africa and Middle East. And I came back with an award, they called a recognition in pursuit of excellence. They gave me a special certificate, which they called a recognition in pursuit of excellence, because of certain stories which I don't have time to share in this particular webinar. And I came back with some money, with some dollars. That's one of the things I've achieved in my life. And the second thing is that I've been a three-time winner also of what is called the World's Poetry Congress Young Scientist Award in 2008, in 2012, and in 2016. So, um, from 2008 to 2016, it looks like after every single year, I'm able to win one kind of award or the other. And so for this World Poetry Congress Young Scientist Award, I had the privilege to come to Australia for the first time in 2008 as a student who got a scholarship to attend a conference, all expense paid conference, to Australia. And that was where my journey to returning to Australia for my PhD, scholarships and all that started. And then in 2012, it was an opportunity to go to Brazil for the same conference. And in 2016, it was an opportunity to go to China. What else have I achieved? Then in 2012, the same 2012, I won the University of New England International Postgraduate Research Scholarship. The International Postgraduate Research Scholarship that is awarded by the University of New England. And this scholarship took care of um, my uh, my tuition fees and living expenses. My tuition fees and living expenses. So I didn't have to pay school fees. I didn't have to pay for accommodation. I didn't have to pay for anything because the scholarship covered all that. And then part of that scholarship is also what they call the International Postgraduate Research Award. So that then covered some of my research activities, some of the travels, the conferences, the trainings, and all that were covered by the research award. So two different awards. One is the International Postgraduate Research Scholarship for tuition and living expenses, and the second was the research award to cover my research activities at the university as a PhD student. And then in 2015, I won the Hamlet Protein Industry Research Grant. The Hamlet Protein is an animal science company that is based in Denmark but has expanded into the United States and a lot of places actually all over the world now. And I got a grant of about 40,000 Australian dollars, to support my research at that time. And then, kind of most recently, I won a Marie Curie Co-Fund postdoctoral fellowship of over a hundred and over 100 and close to 200,000 euros um, for my postdoctoral fellowship. This was in 2020, and it took me to Europe. I spent some time in Spain and in Ireland conducting research as a postdoctoral fellow. And then currently I am on an ongoing government grant of over 480,000 Australian dollars, part of a project that is worth of 480,000 um, Australian dollars to conduct a research. And so in total, in my journey so far, I've won. So this should be 850, or maybe it would be 8.5 sometime, 8.5 million in the next coming years. So, but that's supposed to be $850,000 in total is what I've won in terms of grants. So, um, why I'm sharing this is just to show you that I have the experience, I have the capacity, I have the knowledge actually show you how to win scholarships because I've won scholarships, I've won grants, I've won awards, and so on and so forth. And I've used it to teach and show a lot of people, young people, how to do the same. I've been able to replicate the same result, the same success with other people, and that is what qualifies me to talk to you about scholarship today. Before we move on, I have a question for you. I want to ask you if you can hear me and if you're on this call, I want to ask you, what is your greatest challenge to furthering your study? You want to study abroad, and you have some challenges, but I want to know in one sentence or in one word, if possible, what is your greatest challenge to furthering your study, especially abroad? Let me know in the comments. Money, okay? Somebody said money. Finance, yep. Another person said finance. Yep. So let me know in the comment. I see someone said money, someone said finance. What's your greatest challenge to furthering abroad? Okay, someone said time and finance. Yeah, because you need a lot of time to devote. As a matter of fact, you're going to see from what we're going to share that you need time. You need time. You need time. Yeah. So if you can't create time, then you can't find the money. Very, very important. You need time to do most of the things that I'll be sharing. Someone said funding. Yeah. Okay. Great. So I know that if I leave this for the next 1 hour, everybody will say the same thing, or everybody will at least mention finance or funding alongside any other thing that might be a, a limitation for them to study abroad. And I agree that one of the most the strongest drawback to people will with the knowledge or the intelligence or the capacity to study abroad to do that is finance. One of the strongest hindrance or limitation for people who have the capacity to study abroad um, and are not able to do that is finance. So um, it is a common denominator across for a lot of people, and that is the reason why um, I talk about scholarship all the time because I want to see people who have the capacity, the knowledge, the expertise, um, the experience. What else? The zeal, the passion. People who have all those things and want to study abroad to be able to do it without any limitation in terms of finances. So this has been my passion for a very long time, and um, I just want to have the opportunity to keep driving it, to make sure that finance is not a limiting factor for people who are able, to exhibit that passion or that excellence or that drive to study abroad and so on and so forth. So across along the line of all over the years, I decided to start what is called Scholarship Mastery Academy, and the vision for Scholarship Mastery Academy is to help students to overcome this greatest challenge called funding. Whether you call it the resources, you call it finance, you call it money, you call it funding, whatever it is that you call it, it's all the same. So at Scholarship Mastery Academy, we've devoted everything to helping students to be able to overcome this challenge. And what we do is very simple. We get students fit and ready for scholarship. We get students fit, ready for scholarship. That's what we do at Scholarship Mastery Academy. And over the years, we have been doing that. We do it through webinars like this. We do it through sharing scholarship opportunities. We do it through online courses, and we do it through coaching and mentoring. So we have these four platforms or four avenues that we try to expose students to so that they can become fit and ready for scholarships. And we have achieved several successes with that process. And so now let's go into the main discussion, which is how to show you how to accelerate your scholarship success in 90 days or less. How to accelerate your scholarship success in 90 days only. So in the rest of the conversation, this is what we'll be talking about. We'll be looking at how you will be able to um, pull yourself together, pull things together to accelerate your scholarship success in 90 days or less. So we'll start with what scholarships are. I don't want to assume. I know that some of us here will already know what scholarships are, but I don't just want to assume. I just want to, quickly go through what it is with us and into a few more points around it. So when we talk about scholarships, we're talking about free monetary or non-monetary support given for your studies in exchange for excellence of work. So I'll leave that to sink for a while. I'll leave that to sink for a while. Free monetary or non-monetary support given for your studies in exchange for excellence of work that you do. That is what scholarship is all about. Now, I said in exchange for excellence, and that is with purpose. People get scholarship just because they are excellent, right? Just because they're excellent. They graduated with a very good degree. And so some scholarships are just there for them to apply for, just based on their excellence. But sometimes funding for your studies come in exchange for work. All right. So and that is where what you have learned over the years and how you've put it to work, the skills that you've developed, the expertise that you've developed, the capacity that you've built over the years come to play over, being just an excellent student. So there are opportunities for you to showcase the capacity to work, even when you're not a first class graduate, and that can be taken in as an exchange for monetary support for you to be able to study. So, um, when we talk about scholarship, don't all only limit it to, oh, okay, I have to be an excellent student in order to get a monetary or non-monetary support for my studies. You can be an average student, but you can work, and it can be seen in your documents. It can be seen when you speak. It can be seen when you show up that actually you can do some work. You understand the practical aspect of the work. You don't just have a theoretical knowledge, but you also have the practical knowledge of the work that is required. And so that's what I mean when I talk about work. So when researchers see that you have the capacity to do work, they can exchange that work in with monetary support or your studies. And so that's how we hear things like graduate assistantship, teaching assistantship, research fellow, PhD studentship, and so on and so forth. So all those kinds of funding are based on the work mainly based on the work that you can do. I'm not saying that excellence is not important in that. Excellence is important, but what the point I'm trying to make is this: if you are an average student, you have good, better, best. You're not the best, but you are both good. So you are better with your better state, and that work that you can do, you can actually. And these are the kind of things that I have been working with people who are not first class graduates, but they are good. They are better, better than good, and then they have the capacity to do the work. A lot of people who have won scholarship through the program are not even first class. Very few of them are first class graduates. A lot of them have made 2-1 or 2-2, but went through the program, learned how to build their capacity for work, and then they were able to succeed. Your scholarship can either be full or partial. It can be research based or course based as well. So full means everything is funded from your research, everything you need for your research, everything you need for school fees, everything you need for living expenses is provided. So when all that is given to you, that is called full scholarship. But when it is partial, it means that maybe you have only tuition, you don't have living expenses, or you have tuition, you don't have research expenses, or you have research expenses, you don't have tuition, or you have research expenses, but you don't have living, and so on and so forth. So in partial, you don't have everything, but in full, you have everything that is um, required for you to study successfully. And again, in my program, everybody goes for fully funded positions. We don't go for partial scholarship. I hear people go I mean, he told me I just got an admission and they gave me the fees for the study is £15,000, and they gave me 1,500 pound scholarship. No, we none of my students have gone through that. And if that is your thing, it is still okay. There is nothing wrong with that. There are people who use that as an opportunity to step out, and then they find a way to cover up for them. And so I'm not talking down on that, but I'm trying to say that my program or my strategy is not for partially funded scholarship. Um, we always go for fully funded positions. And so they can either be research based or coursework program as well. So research based means that all the things you're going to do in time of study under that particular scholarship will be by research, while coursework means that you have to attend classes, take tests, do exam, do assignments, pass them um, while you are on that particular scholarship. So where do you get scholarship? That's the question that a lot of people ask me. I've met a lot of people who always ask me, how do I find scholarships? I want to just quickly go through a few ways in which you can get scholarship. One is that you can get, government funded scholarships through, the Ministry of Education of different countries. There are countries that through their Ministry of Education have scholarship funds for international students. Some countries have bilateral cooperation so for example, in Nigeria, you hear when the National Scholarship Board calls for application for scholarship to places like Hungary, to places like uh, uh, I'm not sure if um, I think Hungary is one I can remember at the moment. Maybe Turkey as well, because there's a bilateral agreement between Nigeria and that particular country. So government funded scholarship could be through bilateral agreement. Some government just do, you know, kind of support students on scholarship to enhance their global development initiative. So they just want to be part of the, countries that are contributing to making the world a better place. They want to have a good ranking in terms of human capacity development and all that, and globalization. So they create scholarships for international students to come and be part of those, scholarships. So one way you can get scholarship is through, government organizations. Second one is through universities. Many universities have endowment funds. The government give them money to run different kind of scholarships. Sometimes they have funds from the alumni, people who graduate from that university, establishing a scholarship for people to apply to as a way of giving back. And sometimes other well-meaning persons who are not even alumni of the university just set up grants, set up funding, set up scholarships for students, to come and study or do a research on an area or in an area that that person is maybe passionate about. Say someone is passionate about cancer, the person can establish a cancer research fund with the university and say, take in students, these are the criteria for admitting the students, give them this amount of money, let them do a research that has to do with cancer. So you can get funding through universities from the money that's given to them from the government, from alumni, from well-meaning persons, and even maybe the money they generated internally as well. And you can get money from individual researchers who work with universities or research organizations who are funded either by private companies or private organizations who are funded by the government or even funded by their institutions. And um, the core of our conversation today is going to be around these individual researchers more than the rest of other sources of scholarship. And of course, you can get money from NGOs, get money from corporate organizations like Bill Melinda Gates Foundation has a lot of grants. Rotary Club has grants. UNESCO, Ford Foundation, Carter Foundation. A lot of foundations out there have scholarships as well that you can apply for. So, why should you apply for scholarships? Some people don't know exactly why you should apply for scholarships. So I'll quickly run through that as well. One is that scholarship gives you free funds for your study, so you don't have to worry about tuition. Sometimes you don't have to worry about, living expenses as well. And that's one of the reasons why you should, go for scholarship. Why I ask, people questions about why should you spend money for something you can get for free. I've seen students who are brilliant, they have the capacity, they have the experience, the expertise, they have all it takes. Their CV is strong, and they can actually get a scholarship. But to surprise of everyone, you see them go on self-funded projects. So, and maybe because they like that, or maybe because they have the money. Not everybody, I don't know how to put it, but I can't say that There's nobody who doesn't like free things, but maybe because people don't know why they should apply for scholarships, and that's why they just don't really care or bother much about it. But um, it's very very important. And in fact, in our program, we first of all teach what is called clarifying your why. Um, and what we do in clarifying your why is to ask you the question on why do you want to apply for scholarships? Why are you applying for scholarship? Do you want to apply for scholarship because you saw a friend who just got a scholarship, or you heard that people are getting scholarships or something like that? You need to have a why, a strong why before you apply for scholarship. So why should you apply for scholarship? One is you have access to free funds. So that means you have free tuition to support your studies. In many cases, living expenses as well, if it's a fully funded scholarship. That's the first reason why you should apply for scholarship. Second is you create lifetime connections. So when you get a scholarship, it means that you have the opportunity to travel abroad, study in a different country. So you meet people from different parts of the world and you establish connections with them. Now, let me tell you what connections can do. Recently, a friend I met in Australia on the trip on a conference, and we can't believe it. We've not spoken for a very long time. We've not spoken for almost 20 years. It's almost 20 years. Yeah. So it's about 15 years now. Okay, right. It's 15 years or thereabout. We interacted last or something like that. So, but few weeks ago, he chatted me up on LinkedIn. I was like, "Can I have your number? You on WhatsApp?" And I said, "Yes, I'm on WhatsApp." He said, "Let's connect back on WhatsApp." So I shared that with him, and he started telling me about an opportunity with FAO. He said, "Guy, there is an opportunity with FAO. I am coordinating the opportunity. I am looking for other people who have experience working in Africa, or people who have friends that are working in Africa to be part of the project." I was like, "Let's go, man." Let's go. I mean, my initial research experience were all in Nigeria, so I have a very long experience in Nigeria, and I still have connections with Nigeria. And so these are the kind of opportunities that can come to you when you study abroad. You meet people that you don't even know what will happen in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the positions that they will be in, or the position that you will even be in, that you might be able to help those people, or the position that they would be in, that might be able to help you as well. So there are many countries that I can go to today, and I don't have to think twice to know to find someone to catch up with, to spend time with, because of the number of people I met, in the course of my travels, in the course of my scholarship, and in the course of my postdoc and all that. So one good thing that scholarship does for you is that it creates opportunity for you to connect with people that you can build a lifelong long relationship with, that you might depend on in the future. Another thing is that it helps you to experience life living outside of your country. um, your mindset changes, the way you think or see things changes when you live in a different country, even in Nigeria. Say if you are in Imo State, you're going to realize that if you move to Port Harcourt, or move to Adamawa, or move to Lagos, that your mindset will change automatically. You begin to see life, from a different perspective, and that exposure is a very rewarding opportunity. It's a very rewarding experience, because the more you know how people live, the more you know how people behave, the more understand other people's culture, the more you are able to tolerate, the more you're able to fit in, the more you're able to not be taken unawares. And so that gives you an opportunity as well to be someone who can go anywhere. So if, say, you went to Sweden to study and you came back to Nigeria, and an opportunity comes up again in anywhere, in Sweden or any country around there, you can build on that experience. and say, okay, I have had experience in this particular country, so it's possible for me to take up an opportunity um, there as well. So, um, living in a different country, which gives you a new and different perspective, is one of the things that you can benefit from, um, studying abroad or going on scholarship. Um, Again, studying in a better environment is one of the things you benefit when you get a scholarship. So having access to the best facilities to help you reach your academic potential and be the best that you can. Acquiring a globally recognized certificate is also a very key important benefit on why you should apply for scholarship. And of course, um, uh, everybody wants to get a certificate that makes them competitive and be able to raise their head anywhere in the world because that would help to increase their career opportunities. And then opportunity to immigrate is there as well. The opportunity to immigrate is there as well. Um, for those who are interested in that, it's not everybody that might be interested in that, but if it is one of the things that you want to achieve, then one of the easiest way to do that is through scholarships because it gives you an opportunity to either migrate and live in another country and possibly even acquire a second citizenship in for yourself and your immediate family in another country. So, looking at these six things, why wouldn't anybody apply for scholarship? Why wouldn't anyone think of applying for school? You have free funds for your studies. You have opportunity to create lifetime connections. You have opportunity to experience living in outside your country. You have opportunity to study in a better environment. You have the opportunity to acquire a globally recognized certificate, and you have the opportunity to also immigrate to a different country. So, so now let's talk about how you can accelerate your success to enjoy these six things that we've just mentioned. We mentioned six things that you can benefit from applying for a scholarship or why you should apply for a scholarship. So now we want to talk about actually applying for scholarship, and benefiting from those six things that we have listed. So the first thing when it comes to accelerating your scholarship success is your mindset. When it comes to accelerating your scholarship success is your mindset. So if you you make up your mind today that I want to win the scholarship, then that would be your starting point to success. Because what that does to you, to just affirming that statement to say I will be a scholarship winner, it changes everything. It changes the way you think, the way you see yourself. It changes the way you respond when it comes to things that have to do with scholarship, so on and so forth. A lot of things change. So um, people find it very difficult to win a scholarship, even when they have the capacity, they have the experience, the intelligence, they have, the right CV and all that, and still fail to win a scholarship because it hasn't come to their mind that they can actually be a scholarship winner. It hasn't come to their mind that they can be a scholarship winner. They just do it because other people are doing it. But I tell you that until you come to that point where you build a mindset that is around believing that it is possible to succeed because you paid your dues, believing that there is an opportunity out there for you, believing that you are the best in all you do and you deserve to win a scholarship. If you haven't come to that point, I can guarantee you can never win a scholarship. You cannot. So you saw the thing is I showed you when we started about myself, what the different things that I won in terms of grants, scholarships, awards, and so on and so forth. Those things didn't just come overnight. They didn't just come because I casually I casually pursued them. No, it all started from a kind of a mindset that I had as a person. For each of those things you saw that I listed as things that I want during my time, I consciously believed that I deserved them. I consciously told myself that I have what it takes or what it took at that particular point in time for me to be to win those scholarships. I believed completely that I had what were things that were needed for me to win those scholarships. So I had that mindset. And what that mindset did was to drive me to make the right choices, make the right decisions, take the right work, do the right work, relate with the right people, um, you know, do everything that was right for me to do to be able to win those things were the things that I found myself doing, as a result of my mindset, believing that what I am is what. So you need to have what I call the mindset of a scholarship winner if you truly, truly want to celebrate your scholarships. So if you finish this webinar today and you tell yourself, I am a scholarship winner, I will do whatever it takes to win a scholarship. You will find out that you wake up tomorrow morning a different person with respect to your scholarship pursuit. You're going to find out that you might even start putting in more time to looking for opportunities than you did yesterday. You're going to find out that you begin to think about how to gather your documents that are scattered here and there, all this while to put them together because your mindset has changed to in this scholarship, and that requires work to be done. Now, it is very, very important that you have, um, the mindset of a scholarship winner because you are what I call the MIP. The MIP is the most important person in scholarship application. You are the most important person. So some people think that the most important person when it comes to scholarship application is the university or the organization that is given the university, uh, or the individual researcher that you're contacting, to see if you can find an opportunity and all that. That's how a lot of people think, right? And they give the power to the university. They give the power to the organization. They give the power to the individual researcher to decide whatever he or she wants to decide whatever they want to decide, irrespective of how it will affect them. If you understand what I mean. But you need to understand that the power is in your hand to influence the university, to influence the organization, to influence the individual researcher, to choose you as the best candidate for that particular position. And so, what the mindset of a scholarship winner does for you is that it pushes you to prepare extremely, to prepare as excellently as possible, to put your best foot forward such that when your document gets to the table of whosoever is to decide on who will be given that scholarship, it will be you that will be chosen. So you need to understand how powerful you are in the process of the scholarship application, that you can put your best foot forward in such a way that among everybody who will apply for that particular scholarship, that you will be the best person that will be selected for that particular. But most times people just say, okay, well, if I'm going to be selected, then I'm going to be selected. If I'm not selected, then that's just it. And then they don't do the best that they need to do, to make sure that they have the best scholarship application submitted at the point in time. So you are the most important person in scholarship application. And the way you package yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you um, showcase yourself, whether it is through your CV or through your essays or through your personal social media profile or personal portfolio and so on and so forth, is very, very, very important because all those things are things that you need to put together to have success when it comes to scholarship application. Now, you will being the most important person in the scholarship application, putting the best foot forward does not single you out from rejection. It doesn't. It doesn't single you out from rejection. So when I talk about having several students who won scholarship, it's not as if some of them, once and then it clicked, and then some of them apply several times. And myself as well, as I'm going to show you in some slides very soon, that you will face rejection. Even though you're the most important person, you have the best person, I mean, you put your best foot forward and so on. And so you're going to experience rejection. There is no guarantee that your first application will be successful. And so if you don't have the mindset of a scholarship winner, with the first rejection, you're going to give up. And I've seen a lot of people like that. I've seen a lot of students. I know these students have capacity. I know that they're excellent. I know that they stand a chance to win a scholarship. They apply for the first one, they get rejected, and they give up. And they give up. As if that's the only scholarship in this world, right? So you face rejection, but that does not define who you are. It doesn't define who you are. As a matter of fact, when you are rejected, it means two things. It means two things. One, you are not yet ready. And so you need to be ready. And that's why we have Scholarship Mastery Academy to get you fit and ready for scholarship. So when you're rejected, the first thing it means is that uh, you are not yet ready for scholarships. You are not yet ready. You're not prepared yet. That's just one of the things that it means. It's not that anybody is rejecting you. It's not that you don't allow the rejection to define you. Simply put, you don't allow it to define you. Just simply tell yourself, okay, well, yes, I'm not ready. There are things I need to do or put in place, to now come to a point where I feel that I am ready. So when you're rejected, you apply for a scholarship and you're not selected, it means that you're not ready. Second is that it means that the position was not for you. So and your position will come, yours will come. I had another experience again with Harper Adams College in the United Kingdom, and I saw this. Um, it was an EU funded position called bio. Um, I can't remember the full this name. It is bio something, and I was so much in love with that. I was going to work on was it heat stress or something like that. I can't remember exactly as well because this is some years back now. And I contacted the guy. Um, we spoke very well over email, and then he moved me to the next stage, which was an interview. I did the interview, and it was an EU funded project as well. So that was where my passion or dream to become a Maria Curie Fellow started. So I wanted to be part of this particular program. And to the best of my knowledge, the interview went well. Everything, you know, went well to the best of my knowledge. And I waited after the interview for a few weeks and I didn't hear anything from them. So I reached out and I was like, yes, I was interviewed at so time and I've been waiting. No feedback, nothing. So after a few days, the lady replied and said that she thought that the HR had gotten in touch with me to let me know about the outcome of the interview. And I said I didn't get any email from HR. She said, okay, I will talk to the HR and then I'll ask them to contact you um, on what the decision was. I waited again for a few days. I didn't hear anything. I emailed back. The lady, eventually told me that actually some other person has been selected for that position. I was like, oh, okay. Hmm. Some other person has been selected for that position, but nobody told me about that. I've been waiting. In fact, I was getting worried about the time it would take me to, get my visa and everything ready before I travel for that particular project. But eventually, I was told that another person was selected. I didn't get any confirmation to say I didn't pass the interview. I didn't get any specific confirmation. Apart from this email I got, I mean, I did back and forth with them to ask about um, the position, but the position was not for me. That particular position was not for me, and eventually they got another person. And uh, after a while, I went back to the website to look at the students that were selected, and I saw this guy that was selected for that particular position that I was interviewed. Some years later, I became a Maria Curie postdoc fellow. Eventually, I became a Maria Curie postdoc fellow. So that wasn't for me at that particular point in time, but mine was coming in the future. So when you're rejected, one, it means you're not ready, and then two, it means that the position is not for you. Your position is coming, and that's what you have to wait. You have to wait for. So the point I'm trying to make is this: approach scholarship applications with the right mindset. One, don't judge yourself. when you're rejected. Don't judge yourself when you're rejected. Don't give up on yourself when you're rejected. Don't say that's the end of the road for me. This scholarship thing is not for me. Maybe I'm not cut out for scholarship. Maybe my degree is not good. I've seen people with 2-2, very low 2-2 win Erasmus Mundus scholarship under our program. So you don't have to judge yourself on the basis of maybe what you graduated with. You don't have to judge yourself on the basis of anything. Just know that you are not ready and that position is not for you. Learn why you were rejected. You can sit back and think about why you were rejected. So for that particular this one I just shared with you now in Papa Adams, I can't really say what was the reason why I was rejected because I didn't get any feedback. But so I can't say. But in the real sense, you can actually contact people involved and ask them or tell them, thank you for having the time to interview me or looking at my application and all that. Unfortunately, I was not successful, but can you tell me why I was rejected? Can I know the reason why I was rejected so that I can prepare a better application in the future? So that if you're able to get that feedback, then you will be able to improve on your next application. All right. So you need to learn why you're rejected. It might be because a few things you're supposed to, you didn't read advert for the position very well. You didn't take the time to look at your CV. It could be a lot of things, really. So if you know what that is, then you will be able to improvise in the future and get yourself in a better position. But don't judge yourself. Learn from the reason why you were rejected. And number three, don't give up. Don't give up. Try and try again and again and again and again and again. And as you're going to see as we continue, that scholarship is actually a game of numbers. It is a game of numbers as much as it is a game of excellence, a game of having the capacity to do the work and so forth. But the point is this: if you have the capacity to do the work, you are excellent, and you are only applying for one scholarship in a year, forget about it. It will take you some years before you become eventually successful with scholarship application. So don't give up, keep trying again and again and again. All right, so that's the first thing you need to do to accelerate your scholarship success, which is what? To have the mindset of a scholarship winner. The second thing you need to do to accelerate your scholarship success is to create and have a plan. Please don't jump around. Don't jump around thinking about scholarship. You don't have a plan. You don't have a strategy. Nothing. You just wake up and you say you want to get a scholarship. You want to win a scholarship. Then they ask you, what's your plan? You don't have any plan. Right? So having a desire to win a scholarship is one thing. Having a plan to achieve that is another. And where many people fail when it comes to scholarship is in having a plan. Right? And as people say, if you don't have a plan, then you have already planned to fail. If you don't have a plan of what you want to achieve, then you already planned to fail. So I hear a lot of people every day. People who have my WhatsApp, people who follow me on Facebook or Instagram, people who are in the group and all that, people who are on my email list and all that. I just keep receiving these messages on I want to get a scholarship, I would like to win it. Then you ask them, what is your plan? They don't have any single plan. They don't have any single plan. Right. So you can desire, and I mentioned this to my mentees um, some time ago during our mentoring program, that you can desire to have any dream that you want. Okay, I think that was when I was that was in Life Excel actually. Um, you can desire to have anything you want. That's no problem. It's no problem. But if your habit, that was when I was teaching on the habit of excellence, cultivating the habit of excellence. If your habit does not match your desire, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. So don't tell anybody you desire to get a scholarship when you are not ready to work, when you don't have a plan on how you're going to do what to achieve that, because that will be a waste of your time and a waste of your energy. desiring and dreaming to scholarship, but you don't have a plan. So, what should your scholarship plan include then? What should your scholarship plan include? Few things I'll show you quickly. Number one is have a goal on the number of scholarships to submit and when to do so. You must have a goal on the number of applications to submit and when to do so. So you say we are in September. September is just about 7 days to end. 1 week from today will end September. So you have October, November, December. That's 3 months, 3 full months left in the year. You can tell yourself in the next 3 months, I am going to submit, whether it is cold email, if you know what cold email is, or whether it is a real application, whatever it is that you're going to submit in the next 3 months as a goal, 30 applications. And then you have a timeline on when you're going to do it. So in 3 months, we have how many weeks? 12 weeks. So 30 applications means at least three in 1 week. At least three in 1 week. That's a plan. For another person, it could be one in 1 week. For another person, it could be two in 1 week. For another person, it could be just one in 1 month, whatever it is. But whatever you have in your mind, there must be a plan that is executable. Smart plan, right? Is um, is simple. Is you can manage it. It is you have results that you can use to measure if you're making progress. It is time sensitive and so on and so forth. So if you don't have that as part of the plan for scholarship, then you're wasting your time. If you wake up and tell yourself, I want to win a scholarship, then you should have a plan on at least where to start from in terms of number of scholarships to submit and when to do so. The second thing is where to make such submissions. So it's not just I want to apply for scholarships. I have a plan to submit 30 applications in the next 3 months. Where? Do you know where to submit those scholarships? Do you know, I mean, those applications? Do you know how to find them? So it's part of the plan to know exactly what kind of scholarship you're applying for, what kind of program you're applying for. And then you need to also have a plan to have all your documents ready in time. The worst thing that can happen to anybody who is an excellent student applies for an application for an opportunity, selected for that opportunity, and they're asking you for a document, and that document has a timeline, like you have a limited time to submit that document, and you don't have it ready until that time expires and the scholarship is withdrawn. You don't think it happens. Just wait until you don't have all your documents ready. That's when you know whether what I'm saying is true or not. When they give you a conditional scholarship to submit a transcript, and you have 10 days to submit those transcripts, or 3 days, or 10 months, 3 months to submit the transcript, and something that you would have started doing long ago, and then you just start it, and then after 3 months, you're still going back and forth with Futo, or going back and forth with Unical, or going back and forth with UI, get a transcript, and then the business. That's when you will know that it is more important to plan to win a scholarship than to just desire it. So, three things you need to have at the back of your mind. You must have a goal on number of applications, where to submit them, and have your documents ready. Have your documents ready. Have your documents ready. So, to get yourself organized properly, there are two things that I share with my students and some of my mentees. To get you organized properly in terms of planning, remember the second thing is what? Create and make a plan. Create and have a plan on how you're going to go about your scholarship success. So to get organized, two things I always suggest, and these two things we teach or we share in our program. One is have what is called a scholarship toolbox. Your scholarship toolbox is simply a folder in on your computer, on your phone, desktop or laptop, whatever device that you're using, a folder that is specifically devoted to everything scholarships, well well partitioned into maybe countries or universities or the type of scholarship that you're applying for. So maybe you have 10 scholarships you're targeting, you have 10 individual folders, subfolders in the big folder called your scholarship toolbox with the name of those universities. And so what happens is everything you're looking for in terms of scholarship or that university or in that university are housed in that subfolder. So if it is the kind of scholarship, then you say, okay, maybe Chevening scholarship, Commonwealth scholarship, Erasmus Mundus scholarship, Swedish Excellence scholarship, and so on and so forth. You have all the different scholarships as subfolders, and everything about that scholarship is in that particular folder. Everything you need is in that particular folder. So when you get a new document that you need for the scholarship, you put it in that folder specifically. So you have yourself organized. Not that you have a file, you name it SOP 1, SOP 2, SOP 3, SOP 4, SOP 5, SOP 6. So at the point you have SOP from 1 to 20, you don't know which one you use for University of Alabama again. You can't remember the one you used for University of Chicago. You can't remember the one you used for Erasmus Mundus scholarship. You can't remember the one you used for, so you become so confused and all that. There is no way you can accelerate scholarship success if that is your lifestyle. I'm sorry to say it, but that's the truth. You can never ever accelerate your scholarship success if that is your lifestyle. So you need to be organized in such a way that you open your scholarship toolbox, you know exactly where to go to find whatever it is you're looking for. So, as you leave this webinar today, go just even if you can do it right now as we're on this webinar, create your scholarship toolbox on your device or on your computer, you know, and then build it up later on. Or if you can't do it now because you're using the device to join this webinar, do it as soon as you finish from this webinar. Create a toolbox called your scholarship toolbox and start organizing your stuff in there. So the students who go through our program, whether it is the mentoring program or FSCP, already know how to do that. So that is the first thing. The second thing is you need to have a scholarship tracker. Your scholarship tracker, I mean, I can't even, I don't have enough time to tell you how to use that. But um, the scholarship tracker simply is a tool that helps you to track opportunities across different universities, all in the same file. So you have one single file, but in that file, you can see all the scholarship opportunities you're tracking, all the professors you're tracking, all the universities you're tracking, all the programs you're tracking. You want to apply to, you see everything, all the information about them, whether they need IELTS, whether they need GRE or GMAT, whether they need you to send transcript before this, whether they need you to pay application fees, whether there is funding for that program or not, whether you need to write SOP for it, whether you need to provide everything proposal, can look at each opportunity on a straight line and see all the information that you need for that particular opportunity. So the scholarship tracker is there to help you pull all your information together into one file. And so you can easily look at it and see where you are at each point in time. So you need to have something like that that can help you to track all the opportunities that you are looking for. And that will help you to be very much organized. So let me speed up a little bit. The third thing we need to do to accelerate our scholarship success is to strengthen our personal profile. You need to strengthen your personal profile. And as a matter of fact, this is the most important. If you ask me, I will say that this is the most important factor in accelerating your scholarship success. You have a mindset, but your profile is not strong, you're going nowhere. If you have a plan and you implement the plan and your personal profile is not strong, you're going nowhere. If you know where the money is and how to find the money and your personal profile is not strong, you're going nowhere. So, the strength of your personality, strength of your profile is the first point of attraction. to a researcher or an admission or graduate coordinator. That's just it. The strength of your personal profile is the first thing that will attract, when you write your cold email. For those who know what is a cold email, for those who don't know, is the email you send to a professor or a researcher to say, I have seen your work and I see you're looking for a student. I would like you to consider me as a student. That's a cold email. Now, when you send that cold email, the first point of attraction in that email will be the strength of your profile. And it's not something you do anyhow. You need to learn how to do it. You know, when you send your CV out as well, when you send your SOP, when you send your motivation letter, whatever it is, the reference letter, when you send all those things out, the first thing that will attract them is how strong you're able to project yourself in any of those things. So you need to have what a strong personal profile to be able to accept your scholarship. So the stronger your profile is, then the quicker you would be able to get a scholarship. So to have such, to have a personal profile that is strong, you need a strong cover letter or an introductory email, which is called the cold email. You need a strong CV or a resume, depending on what they're asking you to submit. You need a strong personal statement, a statement of purpose, or motivation letter. And you need something that a lot of people neglect, a strong, friendly online presence. So a lot of people don't take this serious. When they look up your profile, what they see is someone. I mean, you might have a very beautiful picture as a profile picture and all that, but when they scroll down your page and see the kind of things you post, the kind of comments you make on other people's posts, they begin to question, this guy. I mean, let me ask, when I come to your Facebook page now, or if I go to your LinkedIn page now, what value will I get? Say you are an animal scientist like me, and you are looking for scholarship opportunity in animal sciences. And I come to your LinkedIn page, or I'll come to your Facebook page, or I go to your Twitter page, and I begin to go through it. What kind of information will I find? Will I find information that shows that this guy is really passionate about animal science? Or will I see posts on, propaganda, or on arguments and all those things, maybe fashion, pictures of celebrities, and that's what you just keep posting and all your comments about this celebrity or that celebrity and all that. So for me as a researcher, maybe that will not be what I'm interested in. And it may be a distraction for a student to come into my lab with that kind of mindset. You know, I'm not saying that this is what happens, but this is how you should think. You want to put yourself forward in such a way that people don't assume who you are. People see it and they know, okay, this is actually or likely the kind of person that you're going to be. So people spend a lot of time, a lot of effort creating very good introductory email, very good CV, very good personal statement, and so on and so forth. But their personal profile online or their online presence is a mess. Your email doesn't have an email signature. Your email doesn't have an email signature. That is if you actually know what an email signature is. If you know what that is. It pisses me off sometimes when students send me an email. One guy sent me an email this morning from Bangladesh or yesterday, and his email signature is clean. Is clean. Like I could click on the links on his email signature, and it will take me to his profile, and you see everything is organized. I went to his profile. I saw his his picture, his profile picture with suit and tie clean. That alone made me to like start thinking, okay, you know. So this is psychology. You need to make people take the action that you want them to take. And some of the things that influences that is how you project yourself to them. So if you write me a very good cover letter, very good CV, very good personal statement, I'll check it up online. I will check you up online 100%. Quote me 100%. Other professors, other researchers might not do that. But for me, with the experience that I have and the knowledge that I have about online presence and so on and so forth, I have my own personal profile. I have my own, I have a website. I have a Google knowledge, what is it called again? I have a claimed knowledge page on Google. I have a podcast. I have YouTube page. I have a lot of things. I have personal profile on Facebook. I have page profile on Facebook. So I understand how social media works and I know the value. So other researchers might not have, but for me, I take that seriously. And you need to take it seriously because you don't know if the person you're going to be applying to will be somebody like me. Take note of that. So let me not just take too much time to talk about it, but I want to encourage you to think about your online presence today. Think about your email signature. Because if you're going to use your email to send cold emails, you need to have a very good email signature that will make someone take you serious. So your CV should have a strong personal statement. Personal statement is that first 3 to 4 lines, three to four, 5 lines after your address, your name, your address, contact, and all that. There's a statement. People call it personal summary and so on and so forth. You need to have a strong personal statement. When people read that, they should want to read more of it. Your CV should display what you did, how you did them, and what you achieved, not the position you're occupying. Not the position you're occupying. Your CV should tell us what you did, how you did them, and what you achieved, what you learned, where you learned them from, how that has changed the way you do things. That is what your CV should do. Your CV is not president, Scripture Union Campus Fellowship, 2001 to 2003. Uh, that's not what did you do when you were president. Okay, research assistant when you were. What did you do when you were a research assistant? So that's what your CV needs to show to be able to make your profile strong. You need to show in your CV what you did, how you did them, and what you achieved. Um, and then your personal statement in the CV, those first 3 to 5 lines needs to be as strong as possible, to make the person who is reading your CV want to read more. So how to improve your CV? I'll just go through it quickly. Acquire leadership and management skills by volunteering in such organizations, in such positions rather. Take trainings, take online courses and certifications in the field that you are interested in. I had a student. I worked with him in 2001. This guy made a tutu, um, but he spent a lot of time taking online courses, volunteering, doing a lot of things, getting certifications and all that. And you can't believe that this guy got an Erasmus Mundus scholarship to Portugal. This is clean. This is clean, verifiable. It's not. I can give you his name. You go and look him up. So you don't know the how you don't know how trainings, online courses, and certifications can change your life. Emmanuel, a, a video on email signature is is on the platform that you belong to. So if you go back to the course or whatever, you should be able to find a video on email signature. But if you're talking about a sample of an email signature, it should have your name, it should have your position if you hold any particular position. You could put your degree if a degree is that relevant in front of your name or below and then your position. It should have um, links to maybe your ResearchGate or to your LinkedIn or any other social media profile that you know you are very active and you're doing things that are very relevant there. You could have something like a quote that that motivates you. So maybe a quote from Albert Einstein or a quote from someone that you listen to or you follow, look up to as a role model, and has a quote that inspires you. You can even put a quote as like my email signature has a quote. Um, you could have your phone numbers as well, and also just something simple. Um, that you see at the bottom of emails that you receive from professionals. That's what email signature is. So you can look at some of the emails you've received in the past and see how other people are doing theirs, and then you put it in your own. Like I said, Emmanuel, there's a video on the platform that shows how to do that. Right. So, but I was talking about you, 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 you don't know what trainings, online courses, and certifications can do for you. It can actually open doors for you very special, unique way. Attend conferences and attempt to present in those conferences. Add those presentations to your CV. Lucky enough for me, I started attending conferences even as an undergraduate student. I wasn't presenting, but I was attending. And then immediately after my final year, I started presenting, in conferences, and also I've had a long period of, opportunity, time, and opportunity to present in conference, and all those things added to my CV. And then publish articles in your field if you can. It doesn't have to be in journals. You can start a blog, and that blog can be dedicated specifically to your area of interest. You can have a blog that is dedicated specifically to an area of interest, and then that blog can become your portfolio that you can add to your CV, and direct people to it. And then the link to that blog can be in your email signature. And I told my students, my mentees the other day too, how I how I got a job that I didn't take in Scotland. I saw an opportunity and I reached out. I said, I've seen this opportunity. I would like to apply for it. And what do you think? This is my CV. So a few days later, a man replied me and he said, I've just gone to your profile because my email signature has my profile. And then he said, I've just gone to your profile and I've seen your article, I mean your publications, and I think you are very qualified for it. Please go ahead and apply. Like that. And I got the job, even though I didn't take it. So you can add a link to your blog in your email signature so that people can easily access it as well. So but what I was just trying to say is that to improve your CV, you might have publications as well added to your CV. Your essays, your essays, to make it strong, should tell a coherent story. Again, we don't have all the time to talk about how to write a coherent story. I dealt with that, part of that with the mentees last week, Saturday, on how to write a coherent statement of purpose. Um, it should speak action. So, some people, when they write in passive terms instead of writing actively on they will actually do with the opportunity when it's given to them and so on and so forth. So you should be able to talk about active things that you're going to do really, and then you need to envision the future you see when you write your essay. So because in your essay, they want you to tell them what how will this scholarship transform your life? How will this opportunity transform your life? So if you're not able to communicate it in the essay, then of course the person who is able to communicate it better will be the one that will be selected and all that. So and this is not an essay writing webinar, but one thing you need to do to make your personal profile strong is to have a strong essay which tells a coherent story, speaks action and visions the future that you see. Now, number 4, go for less requirement. Accelerating your scholarship success in 90 days or less. Number 4 point, go for less requirements. Go for less requirement. Go for less requirement. In many cases, you will need extra documents and even fees to apply for and then secure a scholarship. In many cases, that's the situation, right? You need extra documentation. Bring this, bring that. and then you pay this fee and so on and so forth before you are able to get, um, fully apply for scholarship and then be able to get. But where possible, look for opportunities that will not require you to submit IELTS, require you to submit GRE, or require you to pay application fees. Somebody will say, where can I get that scholarship? It's because you don't know how to get it. You don't know where they are. You don't know the process. That is why. So you are applying for programs that are only asking for IELTS, and then you spend 300,000 naira writing IELTS. Is it 300,000 naira, 170 something? I can't remember exactly. Sorry. But whatever it is, you pay $300, right? Not 300,000, $300, which you know how much it is when you convert it to naira. Right? IELTS, the same thing with GRE. You pay application fees, and then at the end of the day, your profile is not strong because your profile is the strongest, is the most important thing, like I said. And then you spend all those monies, you don't get a scholarship, you spent money on IELTS, on GRE, on application fees without a strong profile, and then you don't get a scholarship. So why don't you save yourself the hustle, save yourself the money, and look for opportunities, navigate. There is a process. There is a process to navigate it, and that's the point I'm going to show you. Briefly, how that is done. Two students left in August. Two students left in August to US. They didn't take GRE. They didn't take IELTS. They didn't pay application fees. So it is possible to find opportunities where you may not require to do all these things. It is now how to find those opportunities is what you need to learn how to do. Number 5, follow the money. Follow the money. Accelerating your scholarship success in 90 days or less, follow the money. Follow the money. I tell students this: follow the money. Know where the money is and follow it. Don't wait for government scholarship. You can if you want, but as you're waiting for government scholarship, follow the money. Don't wait for Chevening. Don't wait for Commonwealth. Don't wait for where are they now? All those, government scholarship. Follow the money. If you must wait for those scholarships, at the same time, do what? Follow the money. If I ask you where is the largest amount of money for scholarship, some of us may not know, but those who have been following my program or those who are part of the program who are on the call will know. Largest amount of money for scholarship is in research-based programs. Research-based programs. Most of the fully funded scholarships are for research-based programs. Most of the partially funded scholarships are for coursework programs. It is coursework that they will give, say, hey, the fees is £15,000, but we'll give you 1,000 as scholarship. So you have to pay 14,000 as a balance to be able to continue with the program. Nobody does that with research-based. Nobody does that with research. Before you are admitted into a research-based program, the money is there. The money is there. If anything happens, then it might be that there is a problem with you and they want to push you out. And I've seen such experience. I've seen such someone has had that kind of experience before. Come on a fully funded research program, started messing up, and then the professor said, "There is no money. There is no money for your study." And immediately, that was he told me that I told him, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. Nobody can bring you on a research-based program and then come after 6 months or 7 or 1 year and tell you there is no money. It could happen if something happens with the supervisor and then the money that was given is pulled out because maybe something unethical was done. That's a different case. But if nothing was done, if everything is okay, I can guarantee you that money will be there. But coursework is not always like that. So where is the largest amount of money for scholarships? Research-based program. And this money is in the hands of individual researchers. All right. So sorry, guys. Just I just quickly dashed out to attend to one or two things, and I'm back now. So I was just trying to say that where the money is in research-based program and in the hands of individual researchers. So let me show you quickly. So this is a researcher in the Copenhagen University. And what I want you to look at is just look at, you know, this is an example of an individual researcher who has money. And when I say follow the money, so when I say follow the money, what I mean is look for researchers that have money and just go to them. Reach out to them. When you send your cold emails, you're sending it to researchers that have money and are looking for students or have the capacity to look for what? For students. And look at this guy, an example of an individual that has money. So he's a professor in terrestrial ecology. And then look at the amount of grants that he has secured as a coordinator of that grant. 1.2, 2.8 DKK, which is Danish krone, 110, 2.8 again, 200 euros, 200,000 again. So a lot of funds that this guy has gotten all over the years. And then if you look at the other one, this is the one he got as the coordinator of the grant. And then the other one on this side are funds that he was involved with as a co-applicant or something like that. When you see 5 million DKK, 1 million DKK, 1.5, and so on and so forth. Over the years, that has gotten a lot of money. So this is where the money is. Individual researchers. Look at another example of someone from the University of Tennessee, and this lady has 16 projects, that are funded, sponsored projects. One of them is up until December 2025, as an example, all right, of projects that are funded. Now, this lady, on her profile, there is no specific amount of money mentioned from the University of Kansas, but if you see any information, if you look at any person's profile, any researcher's profile, and you see this information, I'm looking for graduate student who are motivated, blah, 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 blah. If you're interested, contact me. What this means is that this professor has money and is looking for students. The money is there. They're simply looking for who to give the money to come and work in their lab. All right. Now, this is a little bit old, from it's still the University of Kansas. But if you look at this guy's funded program since 2010, he has already gotten $1 million in funds so far. And like I said, this is an old uh, profile, but he had information on projects that were, pending. Okay, so for a pending project, rather, he had this one, which is about 200 and something thousand, applied for from NSF, which he was looking for, and then you see the previous ones that he had running into hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. So you're looking for someone like this as well to give you an opportunity to work in their lab. So these are the individual researchers that are holding almost all the amount of money that is in research scholarships all over the world. And then this is from University of Melbourne, and this lady has already completed 85 projects or is involved in about 85 projects. And out of the 85, 55 of them are actually research grants. Research grants. And she has some active ones. This one is finishing this year, and then this one is on until 2026. So if you're somebody who is working in this field that she is working in, what you need to do is to reach out to her and say, I am a master. I mean, I'm a potential PhD student or potential master student. I'm looking for opportunity to work on this project that they're working on. This is my CV. But how do you do that? How do you do that? Right? So um, this is a professor from the University of New England. Up until the last time when this was done, had gotten 7.1 million in grant, over 7.1 million in grant, and the this one, which is ending next year, and of course not the latest one because this is also an old profile, was 473,000, 473,000 Australian dollars. So where the money is in research-based program. That's why when I say follow the money, what I mean is look for individual researchers who hold this money, reach out to them with, I mean, as many of them as possible, putting your best foot forward, with a strength, with a very strong profile, and making your case to become their student. This route will cut you off from in many cases you might not pay application fee. In many cases, you might not do IELTS. In many cases, you might not do GRE. So the essence of GRE is actually to see your capacity, to think critically or to analyze things. That's major the essence of GRE. And then professors use it to rank students. So the students with the higher GRE has the capacity to think more critically or to analyze things better. So they will rank all the students after they submit their GRE, and they will say, okay, the students with the best GRE will be admitted or will be selected to be part of the program because GRE is an indication of your ability to think critically or analyze things. So, but if you have a personal profile that is strong and in your CV, you have critically thought about certain things, critically thought about how you present the things you have done, the results you've achieved, the impact you've made, you've critically thought about the research that you want to do, and you write a very good research proposal and so on and so forth, then it will be clear to the supervisor that you can do those things. So they will just easily navigate away from asking you from submitting a jury and so on and so forth. And of course, by the time they bring you on board, they interview you, they see that you can actually speak English very well to the level that they want. They looked at your publications or your writing and they see you can actually write very well. Even from your cold email, they can see that you can write and present yourself very, very well. So they will say, there's no need for this guy to do IELTS or any other English. And if they want you to do this, just to do it for formality's sake, and then you can do any of these easier ones like Duolingo or so on and so forth. So you can actually find a way to navigate through this process if you follow the money. So why should you follow this route? Why should you think of research-based scholarships more and follow the money than coursework? Um, so you might be here and you're a coursework person. That is totally fine. You can go ahead and keep following opportunity scholarships that are coursework based. But for my students, I don't work mostly with them on coursework based projects. There are those who are interested in Chevening and interested in Commonwealth. Yes, I still support them with all that. But the core expertise of what we do in Scholarship Master Academy is research-based opportunities. So why should you follow the money? One, there are they are always looking for students. These guys are always looking for students, and that's the fact. Because they're always getting money, they are also looking for students to come in and utilize that money for research. Two, there is lesser competition. There is lesser competition. The chance that they have many people seeking to work with them is less than when you are in a pool. So, say for example, you're browsing and you're looking for somebody. It is possible that you might be the only person who is seeing this guy's profile. If you follow the method that I teach, you might be the only one, sorry, who is actually looking at that profile at that particular point in time with the advert. Even though the world is becoming more global and the social media is connecting us much more, in the sense that you know a lot of these professors now they have social media platforms as well, so they project these things out. So by that, people are beginning to know about this process or this method and are also following it. But it is possible to find people who might not have that strong social media presence who are looking for students, and you might be just among the three people who are contacting him, or just among the five people who are contacting him. In a worst case scenario, just among the 10 people who are contacting him for that particular position at that particular point in time, compared to where you are in a pool of 1,000 applicants for a coursework-based scholarship, or one of these government scholarship that people they pull people from all over the world to compete for maybe 15 positions or 20 positions or maximum 50 positions, but you have maybe 5,000 people who are competing for it. You have to be extremely good to be able to come out at the top of that pool at any point in time. But with this, you have lesser competition, fewer people, and if you put your best foot forward, you will likely be one of the people that will be selected. And then all you need is to impress the professor. All you need is to impress the researcher to show that you have what it takes to be a good student in his or her lab. And that is where the strength of your profile comes in. So remember, all these things we're saying is irrelevant if the strength of your profile is down, down, down. It's down. I mean, if people cannot look at your CV or look at anything that has to do with the work you've done and be impressed by it, then this route might not be an easy one for you. I mean, not even this, even in course-based scholarship as well, you need to have a strong profile for you to be able to win. You can imagine winning a scholarship that is competed for by 1,000 people, competed for by 2,000 people at a time. You need to be very, very good. You need to have a good, a very strong profile and so on and so forth. So the most important thing, again, let me emphasize, in your scholarship journey, accelerating it in the next 90 days or less, is the strength of your profile. And I've shared with you a little bit of things you can do to increase the strength of your profile. So the sixth thing you need to do, or you need to know to accelerate your scholarship success in 90 days or less, is to understand that success is in numbers. Success is in number. The more, the merrier. The more, the merrier. Not one application in 1 month, not one application in 2 months. And you say you're looking for scholarship. I tell you, my friend, you will not get it. Even if you get it, it's going to take you a lot of time. Lot of time. Put me anywhere. A lot of time. How many applications do you think you need to win a scholarship? How many applications do you think you need to win a scholarship? Well, you can get a scholarship at the first attempt, no doubt, but it is likely that you will have to apply to as many as possible to stand a chance. So you can get a scholarship at the first attempt, but it is likely that you will have to apply to as many as possible to actually stand a chance. And that's just the truth. Now, let me show you. This is me applying, and this thing I did here is wrong completely, or was wrong. I did this if you look at the date, 2009, if you look at the dates, right, they are all 2009 dates. But it was wrong that I was sending to everybody in Alberta, in the department in Alberta at that time. So this is very, very wrong. And I've learned from it. I've made changes and all that, and I teach my students how to do it rightly. When I was doing this thing, nobody thought, nobody. You see the way you are on this webinar and you're learning these things. Nobody, I didn't hear it from anywhere or anybody. I did everything all by myself, making mistakes and learning. But the essence of this email is not the mistakes I was making. It is the number of applications I submit in one day. Just look at it. Just look at it. All of them were submitted in one day. This is another one again because I searched myself, all the emails I sent myself, and you see again, all of them the same day. You see again. So you're going to see that I, in fact, that was crazy. If I have to use that word, permit me to use that word. When it came to applying for scholarship, then I was just sending them out like that. But my personal profile was not strong. My personal profile was not strong. If my personal profile was strong, it wouldn't have taken me the length of time, the amount of time it took me to win a scholarship. My personal profile was not strong. But the point I'm trying to make is this: don't send one. Success in is in the numbers. Success is in the numbers. Success is in the numbers. So don't send one researcher and then that's it. You wait until next month. Or you keep waiting until he replies. Meanwhile, there are other researchers in other universities all over the world. You know how many universities that are only in the United States, you know how many universities that are there? And then you send to only one university, one researcher, and then you wait for another 1 month or 2 months before you send the second email to another researcher in another university. Wait for another 1 month before you send. Oh my God, you can't. There's no way you can. So if you truly, truly want to win a scholarship, you need to apply every single day. Every single day, and I mean it. Every single day, you need to find one researcher and send an email to them and say, I have seen your profile. I see you're looking for a student, or I am a student, I'm looking for an opportunity. Can you give me an opportunity in your life, in your lab, every single day? So if you join the program, in the next 90 days, you have to send an email every single day to a new person. There's no guarantee you will get a positive response from each email, and that's it. But the more you send, the higher your chances. The more you send, the higher your chances. So, what can you do? How can you make this successful? I mean, how can you really, really put this to practice? How can you really, really accelerate your scholarship chances, your scholarship success in 90 days or less? I know that's what you're thinking at the moment. A lot of things I've spoken, a lot of I've shared 6 things that you can actually do. And the question is, how can I actually, where do I start from? How can I actually implement this? Well, there are 2 ways you can. One is you can actually go back, even come back to this video because it's going to remain. It's going to remain on the channel, on the YouTube channel for Scholarship Master Academy. You can come back to it and listen to those 6 steps that I've mentioned, and you can go through the process yourself. You can go through the process yourself, really. And I guarantee you, if you go through the process yourself, you will still succeed. But it might take you a longer time. It might take you a much more longer time, but you will still succeed because I did it myself, and it took me 4 years. But now I'm teaching it to people in less than 1 year, they get a scholarship. In less than 6 months, they get a scholarship. And in 2 years, for some people who are lazy and slow, maybe they get a scholarship. But most people, in less than 1 year, they get a scholarship. And I'm going to show you some of their testimonies. Or you look for help. It's either you do it yourself, go through the process yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. You still succeed. Or you seek help. You seek help. You seek help. And so for those who seek help, it is quicker and faster, easier with the support and all that to make the work smoothly, go smoothly for them. And in terms of seeking help, that is where the scholarship success accelerator program comes in. So the scholarship success accelerator program helps you to accelerate your success in 90 days or less. What is included in that? Or what are you going to see in that? What is the component of that particular program? Number one is that it's a 3 month journey online involving teachings to cover all the things that I've showed you, the 6 things that I've showed you, especially how to follow the money, how to build your personal profile, how to have a mindset that wins, and then how to have a plan, how to create a plan that works. So these things, over a period of 3 months, you're going to have access to learning about them online for a period of 3 months. Number two, you're going to have access to a peer-to-peer group where there is support within small groups for everyone who is part of the program. So we have a program, an activity where we pair two people together to support each other through calls and following up on each other and asking each other how they are going, and kind of provide support for one another. You have access to 3 hour group mentoring session once every month. Once every month over the period of those 3 months, there is a 3 month, 3 hour mentoring session. And you also have the opportunity to have your essays reviewed. Of course, that's part of the program. So all the SOPs, all the statement of purpose, all the motivation letter, all the code emails, everything that has to be, you know, sent in as an essay or has to be read by the other, including a research proposal, if that is included, you have all those things reviewed for you free of charge. If you want to do it out of the program, you can also do it, right? So Scholarship Mastery Academy has a program, paid review program, where if you want to review your CV, review your research proposal, review all these essays, you pay a particular fee, and that can all be found on scholarshipmasteryacademy.com. Um, what it costs to do that. But if you're part of the program, all these are done for you for free, and then you have access to 3 hour mentoring program where you can ask any question, any challenge, anything that is difficult, anything that is not clear is dealt with, and all that. And these sessions are also recorded in case if anybody misses them, they can also go back to them and have a replay of that. Number four, you have okay, like I've just mentioned, you have access to the replays of the group calls and all that in case if you're not available for it. Um, then you have the scholarship tracker that I mentioned. You get it free to keep, and then to use it to track all the scholarship opportunities that you come across and that we will be sharing as being part of the program. Free downloadable CV and the template, and then recommendation letters, samples that you can use to you can look at. I don't encourage people copying templates or copying what is in the templates and all that. I encourage people to only read the template and use it to develop their own story. But people make mistake of copying what one another person had already written and change one or two things. But when that is put through a plagiarism platform, you just fail. And if they discover that you copied, and then that's the end of it in that scholarship. So I don't encourage people to copy. I only encourage people to read those templates and then use the information from that to improve their own writing. And then you have six hands-on monitor tasks to help you navigate this process. So you see the 6 things we have discussed, there are tasks that are connected to each of them that you have to do as part of the program. Um, to build you up, to help you, process, progress in the program to a point where you're fit and ready for scholarship. And then um, there's a group progress review every 10 days over the period of 3 months. So every 10 days, there's a group progress review, which is on the platform where everybody's asked, how are you going with your progress and so on and so forth. And people can, share their progress and all that. So what will you learn specifically? What will you learn specifically? One, how to find researchers with money. That's one of the things you will learn specifically. How to find researchers with money and opportunities. So you see the slides of those researchers I showed you with the amount of money and grants that they have. You're going to learn how to find such information. You're going to learn how to set up your email professionally and write your first irresistible email to researchers. You're going to learn how to write a research proposal and that will make researchers to support you and want you to be in their research group. And you're going to also learn how to write winning personal statements, SOP, and all the other kinds of things. You're going to learn how to write all those things in this particular program. So this slide shows the testimonials, just a few testimonials of people who have passed through either SSAP or pass through my mentoring or even pass through my free programs like this also. So um, these are just examples of some of them. These are just examples of some of them. This testimonial here is from a lady in Cameroon, and she is the first Cameroonian to win this particular scholarship in Oxford. First Cameroonian to do that. This guy is in France. Now he communicated with me 2 days ago or so. This guy is also in France. This is an Erasmus Mundus and he's in France. This guy is in Poland. I think should have finished by now. This guy just arrived US last month. This lady just arrived US last month, and so on and so forth. So these are just a few that I could fit into this place. So there are testimonials of people who have been winning scholarships, and people who know me know that I don't post those things. I don't post all these things on my social media profile because my social media profile is dedicated to certain things, really, right? So, and I don't want it to look like you're. There is pride in showing the success of your work, but somehow I don't share some of these things. I kind of also try to, protect the privacy of some of the people who have, gone through the program, have won the scholarship and so on and so. So I just don't want to keep pushing things out like that. But they are there, and there are still more that are there that are not on the slide. But I'm just showing you this to tell you that it works. It works. It works if you follow the process and do the right thing. Okay. So someone is asking in the chat, when is the next program starting? The next program is starting on the 1st of October and will run until 31st of December. Now, this is a period of active scholarship application in the US and Canada and some places in Europe as well. This is period of active scholarship application. Some of them will run up until January, February, thereabout. But this program is targeted at people who are willing or ready to make the move for next year. So if you feel that next year is truly, truly your year, then this is a program that you need to join, and this is the right time to join the program. So it's starting on the 1st of October, and it will run up until 31st of December this year. So what is the investment? What is the investment? So the investment normally is 75,000 or $95. That's what people who join this program pay to join the program. 75,000 for the period of those 3 months, and or $95 if you are outside of the country. So 75,000 for the whole program. But because of this webinar, everybody who wants to join from this webinar will have a 33% webinar discount. So instead of paying 75,000, you can pay 50,000 and join the program. So from now till the end of September, if you pay 50,000, you'll be admitted into the program on 33% discount. And to join, you simply go to this link, click on it, and follow the instruction. Read through. You see some of these testimonials there as well. Read through some of the things we've shared about the program, and then if you're interested, just um, you know sign up for it. Sign up for it, and then we'll take it from there. On the 1st of October, we kick off the program, welcome you into the program, and then we work together to make um, a difference in your scholarship journey. So I look forward to having you join the program and work with you to help you to accelerate your scholarship success in the next 90 days or less. So now I will take any questions that you may have. If you have any question, um, uh, put them in the comment, and then I will respond to the questions. So whether it is question about what we have shared or question about anything else that you have, I'm happy to take your questions. I'm happy to take your questions. Let me know if you have any question in the comments. All right, let me see if there's any question. All right. Okay, looks like says, how do I navigate a career change from chemical? How do I navigate a career change from chemical to chemical engineering to what? To IT. Okay, I have been actively learning it for the past 1 year. So, well, the um, of course, the easiest way to do that is to start learning IT skills and building your knowledge or experience in IT. And I know that a lot of IT work has to do with um, building your portfolios or having portfolios, which is what will make your personal profile strong. Um, so building your IT portfolio as well is one thing you need to do. So you need to have work that you can show online, that you created and stuff like that in terms of building a portfolio. But I think the easiest way to start is you might not necessarily start from scratch. There are a lot of IT certifications or IT programs that you can do. There are even people who are training people on IT these days. People like Andela. There are many of them. Like just one of the first ones. But there are so many of them these days that take people who don't have background in IT, take them through certain IT trainings, and then they outsource them to companies, and then your journey into IT will just start from there. So if you've been learning IT for the past 1 year, that's wonderful. You should be able to now start thinking of certifications or think of joining organizations that do the kind of things that I Andela is doing, and hoping that there will be opportunity for you to finally find yourself in IT. But I know that you must definitely have portfolio that you can show um, for the work that you have been doing in IT. Okay. Apart from masters and PhD, are there scholarship privileges for lower courses abroad? Um, so there will be, but because those lower courses are not research-based um, opportunities or programs, then the scholarship that are available for those are coursework-based scholarship, and like I've mentioned, they are a little bit limited. It's very difficult to get fully funded coursework-based scholarships because there are not many of them. So the competition is too much for those scholarships, and you need to extremely be good to be able to um, win such scholarships. So there are scholarships. Some of them are fully funded, but they are very few. But then there are a lot of partially funded opportunities for those as well, but not as much as for masters and for PhD, especially masters research and PhD research. Somebody said the biggest problem with application process is recommendations. I don't know. Recommendation shouldn't be a problem really because it's unique to individuals. So when you say recommendation is the biggest problem, I don't think it's completely true or it completely applies to everybody. It's unique to the school you attended, the kind of lecturers you had when you were in school, and so on and so forth. So I know that with lecturers who are not very friendly with students, lecturers who are not open, it's a little bit difficult. But for me, I never had problem with referencing because I had good relationship in my department. You know, the way they say some departments are very good. I was lucky to be in a department that was very good. In animal science department in Futo, we didn't have lecturers who are wicked, who will say you will not pass you will not make an A because we didn't have those kind of lecturers. They were very friendly, very supportive, and so referencing was not a problem. And so when you say referencing is a problem, it might be the peculiarity of a particular school or a particular department, but I don't think it's a general problem. What you should do, um, you have um, maybe the places where you did your IT, you might have people who are a little bit different, who are a little bit different from the lecturers, your work experience, and then your professional references too. Might be helpful. Um, Yeah, so I'm not sure how you can navigate that really, but your best bet would be to find one or two lecturers that you know are happy with you and are happy to support, um, and see if they can help you. And then if you have lecturers who taught you other courses that are not domiciled in your department, the way you in your year one or year two you take different units or different courses. Some of them are from the faculty, but not your department. Say, for example, I'm in animal science, but I took courses in soil, I took courses in crop, I took courses in agricultural economics and extension. So if the people in animal science are giving me a problem, maybe I can move to those ones because they knew me, they taught me, and so they could also testify that this is a good thing and so on and so forth. So that's the only thing I think you may do. Are there applications one can do without having transcript at hand? Um, yeah, so when you start you could have a statement of results, and then you can actually use that to start. Or if you can get a soft copy of your transcript, you can actually start with that. If it's possible to get a soft copy, a student copy of your transcript, you can start with that. But with a statement of result and a CV, you can start. Even with a CV, you can start. It is now when the supervisor, the potential supervisor, or the school now asks for your transcript that you might now um, start thinking of sending a transcript. But that's why I said part of the plan of creating and making a plan is having your documents ready as quickly as possible. And I understand the situation in Nigeria that it's very difficult for students to get their transcripts if they are not applying for any opportunity, and which is not supposed to be so. Usually in developed countries, as you graduate, part of the document you receive is your transcript and your certificate. And you can use that transcript to do many things. anything you want to do. Or you can even request, and in 1 or 2 weeks, you get a transcript. Some of them, in less than that, you get your transcript. So, that's a challenge with Nigeria, and hopefully things will change. So, if you have an opportunity to apply for a transcript or a student copy, you can do that. Get a student copy and use the student copy to make all the applications that you need to make. And then, when you're officially given the position, then you can now apply um, for your full transcript that you can use for application. But you can start by sending just an email and a CV to the potential students. So if you identify a professor or a researcher, you can just send your email and a CV to them to start with. I wish to get a master's in the IT field. Well, so because you don't have a background in IT, but you have done some trainings or learnings within the last 1 year, um, you might be, there's what is called recognition of previous learning, but that's in Australia. I don't know about other countries, but they call it RPL, which is recognition of previous learning. So what that does is that if you have a previous experience or learning in any particular field, you can apply to organizations who do RPL, and they will assess your experience, and they'll actually give you a certificate, maybe a graduate certificate or a diploma or an advanced diploma, depending on years of experience and things you've done. And so you can then use that to apply for any other program, maybe bachelor's or master's, depending on what they give to you. So that can be done in certain places. I'm not sure about every other place. I know in Australia it's called RPL. So maybe that is one thing you can do, considering the fact that you don't have an initial educational background in IT. But again, with your what you're doing, learning, if you happen to develop portfolios and happen to get a job in IT, I think that should be enough to get you a job. I mean, maybe an opportunity. Because chemical engineering is maybe not too far away from IT if you think about it very well. Um, what trainings and conferences can I attend since I'm moving from agricultural economics to animal sciences? So, if you want to do that, one thing you can do is to join animal science associations. There is Nigerian Society for Animal Production, and then there are other societies too, and some of them are free, literally free for students. So um, you can join those and see if you can. And I mean, just by joining them, you're going to know about the opportunities that are available for trainings, for conferences, and so on and so forth. I think that British Society for Animal Science has a free student membership. Ah, okay, no, they have a paid student membership, but it's not too expensive. But I think maybe European Association of Animal Production (EAAP) has free student membership. I can't tell. Yeah, but first thing to do is to look for organizations in animal sciences and join, and then from there you're going to get to know about the opportunities for conferences and training that are available for students. So, uh, like I said, and just farming production is where you could start, and there are some international ones that are free. Are the research work specific to a particular field or it cuts across the field of study? So it depends. If you're going to do interdisciplinary research, it will cut across different disciplines. But if you're going to do a non-interdisciplinary research, then it has to be specific to your field. So say if you're talking about accounting, then it has to be research within accounting space. But if it is interdisciplinary, it cuts across accounting and business and management, then you could have a research that also you know, it's able to connect all those together. So it depends really on one, the kind of opportunity that is available, two, the kind of work you want to do, and three, the kind of researcher or professor that you are planning to work with. So, so yeah, it depends. It could be specific, and it can cut across fields depending on what you want. I found out a lecturer might have used the same ref for me and a colleague of mine in the same school. We did not know when we applied to the same school until later. What would be the implication? Yes, so I don't know what would be the implication, but yeah, so it might look a little bit fishy, even though it is not. But it might look a little bit. but I can't tell what's the implication. If it is word for word, then there's a problem. Especially if two of you are applying to the same. Okay, you say you're applying to the same school. Is it the same department? If it is the same department, then it's a problem. But if it is a different department, then there might not be much problem. But really, I don't know what the implication is. I might not be able to tell you. Thanks, Gabriela. Thanks for joining the session. So Gabriela is in Clemson University, and she traveled in August last month, August, and she's enjoying herself in the US. Send us some US bread whenever you can. I studied accounting in Polytechnic and a chartered accountant. What are the percentage of scholarship applications success abroad since it's not in science? No, they don't have to be in science field. The scholarships are not only in, so there are research programs in accounting. There are research programs in accounting as well. So what you need to do is to look for the research programs in accounting and then go for them. So research is not only in the field of sciences. So if you are an accountant or you studied accounting and you're looking for a scholarship in accounting, yes, you look for research-based accounting programs and then you apply for those. So that's easy. That's not a problem at all. Okay, Israel is telling me that EAP is no longer free. He had to pay 50 euros to join last year. Oh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But I hope you are getting the best out of that 50 euros because 50 euros is a lot of money for a Nigerian student. And this is some of the things we need to do in Africa. I think there used to be an African-wide animal production association, but I can't tell you exactly what has happened to that. I remember far back 2000 and maybe 2005, 2006, there was a conference in Ethiopia. I think there was another one in maybe in Tanzania also, and I've not heard anything about that since then again. So you might want to check that up and see if it's still existing. But the point I'm trying to make is this something that we need also in Africa, have an association that can help to empower students. You can see what EAP is doing, or see what BSAS is doing for students and all that. So I wish we have something like that for our people as well. But yeah, so um, for the person that asked question about where to start from, sorry, EAP is no longer free for students. But if you're really, really interested, like Israel did, you can look for money and join for 1 year and see if it's worth your time or not. But I can guarantee you it is totally worth your time. Worth your time and your money. Um, they send email newsletters. You have access to their previous publications. You have access to their proceedings from every year. You have opportunity to network. There is a young EAP network or forum that you can join and connect with other young people. And there they do several competitions. You can apply for their student award. You student award for every year conference, which can take you to attend their conference, and that which can change your life because that was what changed my life. I got a scholarship to attend a conference in Australia, and here am I today. Okay, so Emmanuel, if it's in the same department, then it might have an implication. What that implication would be is what I don't know. Okay, so if we can find another reference, maybe that would be the best thing we should do. Do you think writing a recommendation letter yourself and sending it to the lecturer, since most of them are very busy? Yes. In fact, if you come to me and tell me to write a recommendation letter for you, I will not write it. I will not write it. So you write and send to me, and then I review. Okay, so that's in fact, apart from you being the one who knows, you know what you're applying for, and you know how to tell the story most for yourself. Apart from that, many lecturers are very busy. They don't have the time, just like you said. So it's better you write it and then give to them, and then they can review. And then from what they know about you, they can now improve on what you're written. And basically, that's what I do for my students. If they come to me, I tell them make a draft, send to me, then I can review. So I think that is totally fine. Maybe there might be an exception where some lecturers may not want that to happen, but think really what you should do is tell the supervisor, tell me the lecturer that you can do a draft and send to him for them to review and then make changes as they wish to. Um, that will make it quicker for you because if you keep waiting, they might not write it in the next 1 week, in the next 2 weeks, in the next 3 weeks, and you keep it. But if you write and then they can easily correct and send back to you. And that way also you have the opportunity to write everything that you need to write about yourself. Okay, so I think that's all of the questions um, that I can see. That's all of the questions I can see. So I just want to put this back that if you you are interested in joining the program, or if you want to share with someone, you can go to this link and join the program. So now, note this is a paid program, and this is the link to go to subscribe to it. And this is not the free mentoring program, and so if you're interested in being part of it, you can go to that link and join. Or if you have any question, you have my contacts. Send me a message on Facebook or on WhatsApp. You have my WhatsApp. Send me a message anywhere you know you keep connected with me, and I can answer your questions as much as I can to give you some feedback. Right. So if there's anything you want to know more about the program, just send me a message and I'll be able to attend to the questions. So thanks everybody. Um, for other free tips and tricks, just for Scottish Mastery Academy online, we are available on Facebook, on Telegram, on Twitter, on Instagram. So just search for Scottish Mastery Academy. You find different ways to connect with us. You can send an email to support at scottish-masteryacademy.com if you have any question as well. And then we have a free global opportunity, global opportunities community as well, which is called Global Opportunity Ninjas. And if you follow that link that you're seeing now, you will be able to join the community as well. So we post opportunities there. Sometimes we hold free trainings as well. And it's an opportunity to connect with other people also who are also on the same journey with you. And that is totally free to join. That's an option you can take, but it's not as extensive as the program itself when it comes to learning and preparing you for scholarship. So that's it. Thanks everyone for joining, and I hope to see you in the program. I hope to see you in the program. Take care of yourself. Believe in your dream. Keep working hard, um, and know that we're ready and here to support your dreams, your journey at any point in time. All you need to do is click the button and get to us. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.